Well, Peter, a disappointing afternoon here against an informed Rushall Olympic side, and in the end, the quality told. What was your overall view of the game?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, we started off a little bit slow. We started getting to the game towards the end of the first half, and we had them on the back foot, I think. But then, obviously, kind of story of the season, just restarts as soon as you come out for half time. I think we just need to switch on a bit more and obviously see the game out. But it's happened now, just moving on to the next match.
Just coming back to that first half, it was obviously disappointing to go down so early on with that penalty, which still I think a lot of people have been debating that one. But we showed a good response to come back and get that equaliser. I mean, what a strike from yourself. I mean, just to get away from the challenges on the D was good enough, but the strike was unreal.
Thank you. It just kind of fell to me, so just thought I'd have a shot.
Is that something you practice quite a bit in training?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I'd like to say I think I've got a strike on myself. So.
Well, we came in at half-time 1-1. What was the message from Matt at the break?
It was just we've done well, obviously, but then to tighten up exactly for what happened as soon as he came out, just tighten up because we know that they have a threat. They wouldn't be where they are if they weren't. But yeah, he's told us to try and keep it tight. We've come out and yeah. So.
Yeah, it seems to be a reoccurring theme this season. Goals so quickly after half time. I think this one came after just 35 seconds. What, do you think, like you say, we just got picked apart in that moment?
Yeah, it's just like second phases and it's set pieces quite a lot with us. So I think we really need to just tighten up on that, and will definitely help us go a long way.
The third goal's also come from a set piece, and I think that was the moment really where the game was finished off. We're conceding a few set pieces at the moment. What would you put that down to?
Maybe just all talking, like myself included, everyone. We just need to be louder, organise things quicker, and things like that don't happen.
Because it's a very young team as well. Do you feel like that's something that will come with more games and more experience, that communication?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously more games will help, but at the moment it's something we need to sort out quick, so we don't really have time to be waiting around for that. We need to sort it out now. Yeah,
of course. Well, our attention turns to next week. Church come to Hayden Road. They've been on a great FA Cup run, so they'll be coming back down to reality next week. What are your thoughts going into that match?
We're still in it, to be honest. I think no matter the team, we just got to really try and do our best, and things happen, like things like Nuneaton, how we've done in games like that. So I think if we really apply ourselves, we definitely have a chance.
Well, thanks for your time, Peter, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Well, Matt, it's been a whirlwind week for the club, I suppose, for none more so than yourself. What's this last 72 hours been like for you?
I wouldn't know there's a World Cup on. I've barely watched any football. You know, there's such great people at the club. And when I was asked to come and help, you know, you can't say no. The club's given me opportunities to go and do stuff in football. And we're in a position where we've got to pull together. And I think the lads genuinely want that. You know, we're going in the right step now the board's in place. So it's been a whirlwind for a lot of us, players, new board, myself, Geordie, Sneds, but it's going to get there. I can tell you now, whoever comes in is going to have a group of lads that really want to push on. 100%.
And we'll come on to the game a bit more in just a moment, but just coming on to Thursday, when obviously Richard was relieved of his duties, how did the news sort of come about to you, and how did the whole process of you being in place come about?
So basically, I work with the under-23 scholars, so I'm fortunate enough to be a full-time football coach. It's a great thing. But yeah, the board contacted me and said, look, we need someone to come in. You know, they're actively pursuing who's going to come in, but you know, can I help them? And of course, you know, again, I owe a lot to the club, so when they need help, we should all be helping, 100%.
And going into today's game, Rushall Olympic, they are a side in form. It was never going to be an easy first game for you, but what was your just overall view of the game first and foremost?
I mean, I don't think we didn't implement the game plan we wanted well enough. We knew we could have success in wide areas with Andy. Not having Miguel today is a big loss. You know, I mean, again, the last sort of 72 hours we've watched a lot of footage, but he's carrying a knot. Northampton didn't want to risk him, which is totally understandable. So we had to sort of try and get Connor to play in half spaces. But again, they're so good in the middle, those guys. They move the ball, they rotate well. So we didn't really employ that. However, you can see the technical quality's there. So when the opportunity comes, Peter scored a great goal. But again, you know, it's the story of the season, the set pieces. The lads have got to get that mentality right. Got to.
Early goals seem to be an Achilles heel at the moment. We had it in both first and second half today, but just look at that first goal, a very debatable penalty to say the least. What was your view on that?
I don't think it's a penalty. I think it's really, really soft. I've been told by other people that were at a different angle to the ball, they think it is. There was no one in front of us. We're looking straight across from the dugout. And again, sometimes players' reactions tell you a lot. And there was a few today where players aren't really calling for much, but, you know, decisions made. It is what it is. When your luck's not on your side, and sometimes it's not, you know.
We obviously got that equaliser later on in the game. Brilliant strike from Peter.
Yep.
His first goal for the club,
Yep.
that will do him the world of good.
Well, I've known Peter since he was 13, believe it or not. I used to coach him at a very young grassroots level. So obviously coming in today, seeing him Thursday, I had a good chat with him. You know, I said, look, your ability is undoubted. You've got to get yourself in right areas. You know, this is men's football now at a very good level. If you do that, you know, your technique's going to be there.
You mentioned your conversations with Peter there. How have the rest of the squad taken to you over these last few days?
They're fantastic. What a bunch of lads, honestly. You know, they might look disheartened at times on the pitch, but that's going to naturally happen. It's football. But again, whoever comes in, there is a core group of lads there, as well as others that are in and around the squad, that are all desperate to pull in the same direction. They really are.
Moving into the second half then, it started off at 1-1, but
Yep.
it obviously wasn't for long.
Yep.
A brilliant strike to the lad, to be fair to him. I think
Yep.
it was like 35 seconds on the clock.
Yep.
But what would you put that down to? Was it maybe a lack of concentration, maybe just a good goal?
A bit of both. I mean, it's a massive lack of concentration. The finish obviously is great, but we spoke about their set pieces. We've seen it. It's all on footage to see. And again, you know, you compete for the first one and you've got to get around the second ball. We didn't. And again, their quality is going to punish you if you allow that.
Yeah, I mean, that third goal probably killed the game off.
Yeah.
But just as a whole, how would you assess your team in that second half?
We're a little bit naive. Again, the talent is there. The mentality will come. Again, they've got to go through adversity. You know, look, you're going to have highs and lows in football. You've got to learn from the lows. You've got to ride from the highs. And again, if they can all get on the wave of getting on the up, because a lot of these young lads are on their upward path of their football careers. If they can do that, undoubted results will start turning, 100%.
Alf Church next week at Hayden Road. Of course, it remains to be seen whether you'll be in charge for that one.
Yep.
But if you are, of course, we're up against a side who have done really well in the FA Cup.
Yes.
They have been knocked out today.
Okay.
But it's an opportunity for us to really bring them back down to earth, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, look, home field advantage, it does count for something. It really does. And again, you know, look, we're going to have sort of Tuesday, Thursday, lads can get together, we can get the vibe going up again. I don't want to be too cliche, but, you know, the more time they spend with each other, the more they're going to trust each other. You know, and it was obviously a quick turnaround last week, Tuesday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. It's been so busy for them. Yeah, I think a good week now where they can prep properly. And again, you know, a team that's in and around us in the league, yes, you know, they've got games in hand. But if you want to look at the table and spur yourself on, it's there.
Well, thanks for your time, Matt.
You're
And if you
welcome.
are in charge next week, then we will see you next Saturday at Hayden Road.
Thank you very much. Cheers.